What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this lovely Sunday evening slash night? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's having a fantastic Sunday because the Bird Gang is finally. Well, it feels like finally, right? It feels like, dang, finally we got a win over these pesky LA Rams that we've been dealing with for quite some time. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge win for the Arizona Cardinals. Let me re-emphasize how big this is for the Arizona Cardinal fan base, for the people that are living in Phoenix, the fan base here in general. This is just an absolute huge win. I am so excited right now. The Arizona Cardinals went ahead and put this Rams fan base on suicide watch at this very moment. Well, I probably shouldn't say that, but right now they're not feeling very well at this very moment, man. They're all doubting themselves. They all thought they were going to go back to the Super Bowl, but no. The moment that we first played them, I was like, this team is different. That Rams team is not the same Rams team that we've seen from last year. They're going through a Super Bowl hangover. Their offensive line is definitely very bad. And obviously, the Arizona Cardinals went in there and did the job that they should have done. The Arizona Cardinals winning 27-17 on Sunday Football, and I'm absolutely super excited, guys. If this is your first time here, definitely subscribe to the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube. If you're streaming and you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, join on over to the YouTube side, subscribe it up. We do live call-in shows, and most likely we will be opening up the phone lines a little later on in this show today. And we are also going to do a Victory Monday tomorrow as well. So if you didn't get a chance to come in on this show, just make sure you have your post notification bell on. We are going to go live again tomorrow. So just kind of keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't follow me on any of my social platforms, everything is going to be right here, which are all the handles. And in the description of this video, you're going to find yourself a beautiful colorful link that you could just literally click into there, and you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Twitter, which I'm very active on those as well, just kind of really depending on what news we're bringing into, obviously, to you guys. But big shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat right now. We got James, we got John Paul, we got Brandon, Jordan P, we got ESFX626. What's up, everybody? Seth up in the chat as well. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We got 71 people right now. Hopefully we have 70 likes on this video right now. But let's go ahead and get started. Right now, there is a game currently going on, and it's the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Chargers, and the Chargers are taking care of business. So definitely, hopefully the Chargers can continue that win over the 49ers. Granted, yet it's still the second quarter at this very moment, but imagine a world, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine a world where the entire NFC West loses on this weekend except for the Arizona Cardinals, because if the 49ers lose, they're going to be dropping down to 4-5. The Seahawks lost today. They are still a 6-win team. The Arizona Cardinals won today, so now we're a 4-win team. So mathematically, the division is still up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Mathematically, it's still up in the air, whether you believe it, whether you think this Arizona Cardinal team isn't going anywhere, whether you want to fire Cliff, fire Kime. I still think that that's going to be the narrative, unless they can still win a big game, unless they can still win those games that need us to get to the playoffs or win a division game. But let's dive right into it, everybody. I appreciate everybody for being here. I know you guys are here to talk about Arizona Cardinals versus the Rams. Obviously, you can tell I'm very excited. So let's dive right into it, right? In this game, we ended up seeing Colt McCoy, or I'm sorry, Goat McCoy. We ended up seeing him come today and honestly take control of this offense. We ended up seeing him come today and take control of this offense like we haven't seen in a very long time. We saw complementary football, the offense doing it for the defense doing it for the offense. We saw special teams doing their job and making sure those field goals are in. We saw it. We saw it all today, ladies and gentlemen. We saw a very good offense. I didn't actually look to myself today and said, man, our offense looks clunky, right? We've seen our offense look very, very bad, out of sync, right? Self-inflicted wounds. This game, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think the Arizona Cardinals had more than 3 or 4 penalties called against this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, let me go ahead and confirm here right now to see how many penalties we ended up having in this game. Or, I'm sorry. Oh, actually, we did. Oh, we did have more penalties than that. Okay. Well, it didn't feel like it. We had 10 penalties and 67 yards. ladies and gentlemen, it didn't feel like we had that many penalties against this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, granted, it's possibility because it was dispersed amongst the offense and the defense. That might be what it is, because I'm so used to seeing our offense just getting flag on us that's probably why I didn't feel like there was very many penalties on us. But per the stats right here, the Arizona Cardinals had 10 penalties against them, and the Rams had 5 penalties. The Arizona Cardinals had 67 yards, and then the Rams had 29 yards. So it didn't feel like we had that many penalties at all. I'm not sure if you guys can say the same, but the Arizona Cardinals, I still feel like had a very, very good game, right? Offensively, we were hitting an all cylinders go. Colt McCoy had a chokehold on this offense, and I think that that's what's this offense looked like, right? I think we've all kind of talked about the idea of, Kyler Murray maybe not throwing it up to the middle, because yes, I know a lot of people are going to sit up here and say, Kyler Murray, Mike, you never say anything bad about Kyler Murray. You love Kyler Murray. You're not going to say it. But I mean, if you weren't on all my videos, I have said some things like there has been, people open up the middle and Kyler Murray hasn't hit that person. I have said that. But we've seen Colt McCoy do that today. And boy, has that opened up this offense tremendously. We saw Rondale Moore take a huge step for this Arizona Cardinal team. Definitely great, right? We saw DeAndre Hopkins get involved. We saw James Conner in the run game get involved. And boy, was I extremely up for that. Let me get to this contribution here real quick from my guy Seth Carpenter. Now, if this is your first time here, this is probably the best way to get your comment chat or pinned is through a super chat, just FYI, because they're colorful and I can see them on here. There's 89 people in here right now, and we're going to get a lot more people later on. I can almost promise you guys that. So let me go ahead and get over to my contribution here from Seth. He says, hey, Mike, I was in Los Angeles, so these Rams... oh, snap. He says Arghetto and literally Cooper Kupp got hurt, but Zach Ertz got carted off the field with a knee injury, so he might be missed. Yes, if you guys don't know, we do got an update from Zach Ertz. We're going to talk a little bit later on in the stream about Zach Ertz and what his update is. But yes, I'm so happy you went to the game, and I'm glad you got a win going to SoFi Stadium. I have not been there personally, but I'm hoping that is going to be happening soon, right? That's one of my stadiums I want to go ahead and cross off my bucket list. But yes, we saw Colt McCoy today, man, really take hold of this offense. Now, if you take a look at the stats for Colt McCoy, it's not like Colt McCoy had like a astounding amount of numbers, right? Colt McCoy didn't have like 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, nothing like that. But when Colt McCoy was there, it seemed like it was working for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Let's take a look at the stats for Colt McCoy. 26 out of 37, 238 yards and 1 touchdown, right? No interceptions. Played really good football. But I think the best thing that happened with Colt McCoy is that he was taking what the defense was giving him, right? As you can tell, the defense on the Rams side, they were playing very bend but don't break. In the beginning, not in the second half, but in the beginning, they were playing off our wide receivers. They're like, this team is not going to do anything with Colt McCoy. We don't respect them. This is how we're going to play them. And what happened? Colt McCoy took those little yards. Colt McCoy went ahead and took those 5 yards, the 6 yards, the 7 yards, the ones that are underneath. And I think that's what kind of woke up in the eyes of their defensive coordinator on the Rams side saying, hey, we need to fix something. We need to do something differently. They went ahead playing man-to-man. They played press on us, and that's a world that you don't want to find yourself in, especially if you're Jalen Ramsey, because DeAndre Hopkins is still going to go ahead and get his yards. DeAndre Hopkins was targeted so many times this game, which I'm absolutely super excited about. He had 10 receptions, 98 yards. Rondale Moore, 9 receptions, 94 yards. And obviously, James Conner did get involved in the passing as well. 3 receptions, 17 yards to Zach Ertz's 1 reception, 12 yards. Now, AJ Green only had 2 receptions, right? I've been a very negative Nancy when it came down to AJ Green. That's just what it is, right? I've been very negative on AJ Green. Today, I seen AJ Green make a few catches, and honestly, I'm proud of the guy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I am, all in on AJ Green, because I'm not quite there yet, but hey, give him kudos to where kudos is due, right? He got a touchdown, and then that other reception was a very good catch as well from AJ Green. So he got a smile on his face. He looked actually happy to be on the field with Colt McCoy. So hey, anything works out for, the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm game for. Another thing I want to go ahead and talk about is James Conner. we're so used to seeing Eno Benjamin. We're so used to seeing James Conner. We're so used to seeing Keontae Ingram. We're used to seeing a mix of a lot of different running backs. No, not this game. In this game, we saw the James Conner show. And maybe because he was fully healthy, maybe because Cliff Kingsbury fully thought that he could take over the load. Who knows, right? We don't really know exactly what's going on. But boy, did James Conner do a good job for the Arizona Cardinals. 2 touchdowns, 21 carries, and 69 yards. So kudos to him. We saw Keontae Ingram once, 1 reception, 5 yards. But other than that, no sightings of Eno Benjamin at all. And it was more of a running back workhorse more than anything, as opposed to a running back by committee, which I'm absolutely game for. Let me get to a couple of these contributions here. We got my guy AZ Fan says, this game made me question a lot about this team now. The defense did great, but the offense was wow. Cliff changed his play calling. Hashtag fire Keim still. 100% absolutely. I think the narrative should still be fire Keim for sure. Now, if Cliff still needs some more time because he's going to get us the wins, then yeah, I mean, let's see what happens, right? I think we're all kind of game. All the fans want is to win. Like, that's all we want. We don't care how it happens. We don't care who's the quarterback. We don't care who anything is. We just want to win. Like, that's all I want. I want to win. I'm sick of rebuilding. I'm sick of going through this person. If Cliff is the guy, cool. As of right now, what he has showed me, I'm not including this game. I don't think he is the guy. But, with Colt McCoy in the helm, he's looking a little better, right? He's starting to win me over now. Kind of, not really. But let me get to this contribution here from my guy Seth. He says, also, Budda Baker did get a pick 6 from John Wolford. Also, I was on the sideline with Kyler Murray, but I was being Cliff Kingsbury's assistant coach. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome, Seth. Cool, man. Hopefully you got some pictures. That's really cool. That's really awesome. So, yeah, I think this game plan in this Rams game, I don't think the Rams saw this coming. I mean, Cardinal fans didn't see this coming. Right now, we're sitting number 3 in the division at this very moment, and it feels good, right? It feels awesome. We're no longer the bottom dwellers, at least at this very moment. Now, next week, we have a very tough matchup against the 49ers on Monday Night Football. Now, usually how we do against them, we usually split a series amongst them, right? Last year, we did sweep them, so kudos to that for the Arizona Cardinals for doing that. But hey, they're still a really good team. But if they lose, ladies and gentlemen, this game, Sunday Night Football against the Bolts, against the Chargers, man, this whole division is completely opened up for the Arizona Cardinals. Completely opened up for the Arizona Cardinals. And I know some people are probably don't want to see it, and I'm right there with you, right? This game, although yes, I'm excited, it still kind of reminds me of the Saints game, right? When we're really excited, right? When we're all feeling ourselves saying, this is what we wanted the whole time. Great job, Kyler. Great job doing this. This is what it reminds me of. This reminds me of the Saints game. I'm not going to settle too high in my high horse, at least at this very moment, right? I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and say, here we go, division, we're going to win. I still want to see a back-to-back consistency with this offense. I want to see consistency with this offense. So I'm not quite there yet. Yes, I'm 100% happy, right? BLA is exactly what I wanted to see. We went out there, we went to SoFi Stadium, and we beat them. You got to love it. This is the second time Cliff Kingsbury has done this. You got to love it. This is great. But I'm not 100% sold yet until we see it in a consistent fashion. Now, I do see some comments on here saying, where was Robbie Anderson? Robbie Anderson wasn't really involved pertaining to getting receptions, right? He probably was on the field, and I don't have the updates pertaining to like what was the percentage of him being on the field as of right now. But yeah, in terms of him catching anything, he still has not been involved at all for the Arizona Cardinals, which is pretty concerning. But man, can we sit here right now? And I want to make a public announcement here real quick. I want to make a public announcement here real quick. I think I owe an apology. I owe an apology here to Rondell Moore, because man, how has he been a difference maker for this Arizona Cardinal team? Has he been a difference maker for this Arizona Cardinal team? He's been great. He's been absolutely great. And I've been very, very, what's the word? I've been very critical on Rondell Moore, especially in the beginning of the season. But boy, has he changed my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, has he changed my mind. Rondell Moore has done magnificent. Magnificent. So apology goes out to Rondale Moore, and I know he doesn't care. I know he's not listening, but boy, I apologize. You're great. You're doing wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing. He made a really awesome one-handed catch on the sidelines that I was like out of my shoes. I jumped off the couch and I was like, bruh, dang, that was nice. So yes, apology. I'll eat crow. I'm wrong. Rondale Moore, you good. You good. Let me get to this contribution here real quick. He says Colt did great. He can read defenses over the line. Well, we're gonna get into that a little later on as well. But yes, I want to make sure that I come out here publicly and say I apologize to Rondale Moore. He's great. Keep doing what you're doing, young man, because it's working. It's working. Now, this is something that a lot of people want to talk about, right? I was looking at the comments. Coming into the stream when I was getting everything set up, right? I was getting my banners, I was getting my overlays, I was getting everything set up to get into the show here. Now, and I knew this was going to happen. I went on a pregame show and I told the people that were there, and shout out to the people that were on the pregame show. I ended up saying, imagine the narrative, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the narrative that we're going to find ourselves in if Colt McCoy does what Kyler Murray. I mean, well, technically, Kyler Murray did beat, the Rams once, right? He has beat the Rams once. But Colt McCoy coming out here and getting this win is going to completely change the narrative of a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans. A lot of Arizona Cardinal fans. And I know a lot of you guys aren't on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys aren't on Instagram, but I've been very fortunate to have a platform that kind of goes out to different, spots, right? Your Twitter, your Instagrams, and obviously YouTube. I've been very fortunate to be able to take a look at those and see what people are saying, right? See what the Bird Gang is saying. And this has been a big talking point. This has been an absolute big, huge talking point that a lot of people are saying, Colt McCoy season, let's get Colt McCoy in here. And I want to kind of at least put my 2 cents into the situation. And I would love to get your guys' conversation or your guys' opinion on this whole situation, because this is one thing that I was not fearing, but I didn't want to happen, right? Yes, I wanted to win, but I think it would be foolish to say that this offense didn't look better with Colt McCoy than it does with Kyler. Colt McCoy has made this offense, or at least this game, he's made this offense look very, very functionable. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, right, it's the best offense out there, because, I mean, yes, we played the Rams and we played John Wolford, but we still beat their defense. Like, their defense is a very good defense, and we beat them. So I'm not trying to take anything away from this Arizona Cardinal team. I think this is a huge win. Beat LA. This is exactly what we want to see. Huge. But my thing is that John Wolford, the way that he was running that offense was very, very clunky, very, very overthrowing people, very, very, let's get the defense back on the field. And I don't know if the defense just got tired. I'm not sure if the defense just gave up. I'm not sure if the defense really believed in what was going on. And I don't know. All I know is that our offense sliced up their defense, but their offense wasn't at 100%. That's all I know for sure, right? Matthew Stafford, whether he would play like John Wolford or not, he hasn't had his best season at all, right? He hasn't had his best, but it's obvious that John Wolford was overthrowing people. Like, Cooper Kupp got hurt because he overthrew Cooper Kupp, and I believe it was Marco Wilson that, was on the bottom and he ended up rolling over him. So I think we need to talk about Kyler versus Colt. Now, let me get to these 2 contributions here real quick. Let me get to Ethan. He says, I'm really starting to think Cliff designed a system for a tall quarterback, and I feel Kyler and Cliff are like oil and water together. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You might be right. Let's get to Jason here. Says, Kyler equals shotgun, too short, complains, is it Cliff? Question mark. Well, that's the question here, right? That's the question that a lot of people want to talk about. Because yes, we won. We're a 4-6 team. And if the Chargers can continue to hold this 49er team down, and as of right now, I'm looking at the score, it's 13-10. the Chargers are still leading by 3 points, but the 49ers did score a touchdown. So they're trying to make their way up. This is the question that a lot of people want to ask. Kyler versus Kyler versus Colt. Who we should have moving forward? Me, if you're going to ask me right now, I'm still Kyler. I'm still team Kyler. Now, let's say this real quick. I'm still team Kyler, and I think Kyler Murray, if healthy, should be playing against the 49ers. But if Kyler Murray starts to unravel, if Kyler Murray starts to not have a good game, then the idea should be implanted in his head that he's going to get benched for Colt. That's how I want to play this moving forward. I still think Kyler is our quarterback. I still think Kyler Murray is going to be the guy that's going to take us the rest of the season. But hear me well, ladies and gentlemen, if he struggles and Cliff feels like Colt is in a better position to win this game, then I think it's up to Cliff and how he wants to determine it. That's my opinion. I still think Kyler is the guy. I mean, Colt did a magnificent job today, right? He did great. He did fantastic. And I think that's kind of what kind of gets me on that little level of, oh my God, I don't really 100% know, right, how to feel. I'm just basically going off emotion right now. Like I'm such on a high from getting this win, being that we're 4-6. I'm living in the moment right now. I'm living in the moment right now. So yes, I still want Kyler Murray to be our quarterback. Yes, I do. 100%. But I do believe that Cliff should implant it or at least play it by ear. If he's not going to be able to get us the win, then there's Colt right there to run this offense. Let's get to Seth in the super chat here. So he says, hey, Mike, I can be a moderator, but this is crazy. I should be on Hard Knocks, but I could be a good... Well, also, I appreciate the super chat, my guy. Do you work for the Arizona Cardinals? Because you're seeming to say a lot of things like almost that do you work for the Cardinals? Let's move over to Jason here. He says, our cheap quarterback or backup looks so poised. Let's be real. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I'm at, right? That's kind of where I'm at as a fan right now, because you're right. He did look poised. Colt McCoy looks so darn good in this offense that I want to tread very lightly the way I answer this. I want to tread very, very lightly the way I answer this. I truly do believe that Kyler still deserves the starting position, but with a very tight leash, a very short leash, not tight, short leash. Because what we've seen from Colt today, man, it's hard to deny it. And if Colt can keep doing that, oh boy, it's just going to get even messier and uglier for Kyler Murray, right? Good for the Cardinals because we're winning, but messier for Kyler Murray. And I think that's kind of where we're at. I truly do think it's Kyler, though. I think Kyler still needs to start. Call me wrong. That's fine. I mean, if you want Colt McCoy, that's cool too. I mean, I just want to win. Like I can care less who does it. I just want to win. That's all I want. I just want to win. I can care less who do. Me personally, like I said, I think Kyler should be the guy, but with a very short leash. Very, very, very short leash. Let me get to my super chat here for my contribution. MGO, he says, McCoy proved me wrong, but I think K1 is 10 times better than him. McCoy is a good backup, though. Wolf, or whatever his name is trash. And see, and that's my thought too, right? That's my thought exactly as well, that John Wolford isn't a good quarterback. John Wolford was overthrowing people left and right. And it led for our defense to build off of that momentum. It allowed defense to build off that momentum, and for our offense to be on the field and start gelling. Because we saw some things today that, yes, worked because Colt McCoy made it work, but we also saw a run game that was consistent. I mean, that might be because we ended up leading, right? Was it 17-3 going into the half? Something like that, right? I think it was 17-3 going into the half. Yeah, 17-3 going into the half. So, I mean, it could be that as well, right? It could be the fact that the reason why our run game was there is because we started off hot. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of if this, if that type of thing. But truthfully, deep down, I still do feel like Kyler should start. Now, I can care less. As long as we get some wins, I can care less who's doing it. But right now, I'm saying Kyler over Colt, but with a very short leash, because he should be under the understanding that his job ain't safe. Yes, you got the paycheck, but it shouldn't be complacent off of that. Let me get to these two contributions here. We got Jason saying, "How is this offense run smoothly with Colt? Explain." The only thing I can think of is one of the biggest things that I've talked about for Kyler is that he's missing he's missing things up the middle. He is. There's been even last year too. Like I was doing watch parties and I forgot what game it was, but there was one specific game that frustrated the living heck out of me from Kyler because literally Christian Kirk was running on a slant and he didn't throw it. And there was nothing but green grass ahead. And I still think that that's a big thing. Kyler, I'm not going to say can't see over the middle, but he doesn't take those shots up the middle. Maybe he's going in blind. And also, Colt did a very good job in taking the lead because Sean McVay does exactly the same thing that Cliff Kingsbury does. He does exactly the same thing that Cliff Kingsbury is, that if he's behind, they go one-dimensional on their offense. And that's exactly what happened. The Arizona Cardinals went up 17-3, and what happened? Boom. Their run game just disappeared. The Rams' run game disappeared. And that's kind of what we put ourselves into, right? The stupid mistakes, the self-inflicted wounds, all this different stuff. So I truly do believe that Colt McCoy did a very good job today. Very, very good job. But I can't see Cliff benching Kyler for Colts, at least as of right now. I mean, maybe down the road, I'm not saying don't do it, but I just don't see Cliff doing it, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question, Jason. We got a few other super chats came in. We got Ethan saying, "I don't think Colt is better, but he's more mature." Yes. Better leader? Yeah, I'm right there with you. Maybe better in the locker room? Probably. I mean, in terms of quarterback, I still think Kyler Murray is the better quarterback, but you're right, Ethan. All those other little things that people don't want to talk or don't really talk about very much, the leadership and just maturity, Colt is definitely over that for sure. I mean, he's definitely higher, if that makes sense. Let me get to Sam's contribution here. He says, "Mike, I would trade K1 right now to Texas for a first and a second this year and a first for 2024. Pick an edge and a QB this year. Offensive line next year." Oh boy, Sam. Woo! What? Okay, well, couple things. A, trade deadline is over, so we can't trade Kyler. Like Kyler he's not going anywhere. The trade deadline ended, what was it, like the beginning of November, so about a week and a half ago, something like that. So we can't trade Kyler. I don't know about this one, man. I really don't. Okay, that's tough one, y'all. That's a tough one. We're not gonna get to this. We're not gonna get talking about trading him right now. We're not gonna get there. Let's continue with the super chats here, the contributions. We got Back to the Constitution with the super sticker. Appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so very much. Let's continue. We got another one here from Doc. What's up, Doc? Thank you so very much for being here. He says, "With that contract, Kyler has a long enough leash, especially when they took the film clause out of the contract. He's the franchise for at least 3 years." Yeah. One thing that I didn't mention, I appreciate the contribution. Thank you so very much, Doc. This does mean the world. Appreciate you. One thing that I definitely do want to mention is the fact that, yes, Kyler Murray did get an extension, right? Kyler Murray is the franchise for the Arizona Cardinals, at least at this very moment, but he can still be traded, right? He can still be traded in this coming off season. He still can be. Do I want to trade him? No, I don't want to trade Kyler Murray, but technically he still can be traded in the off season, technically, right? So Man, I knew this conversation was going to get to this level. I knew this was going to happen. Let's get to Jason here real quick. He says, Kyler holds the ball too long, too short, in my opinion. And that's a great opinion, man. It honestly is. I'm not sitting here and saying that you're wrong, because honestly, I think all the Cardinal fans right now, we're all just living off of, we're all living off this high right now, right? We're all excited. We're all stoked. We've seen what Colt McCoy did, and we're like, damn, that's what this offense can be, right? We're all living it. We're all excited. And I'm right there with you. What I would love to see is another start from Colt McCoy doing the same thing. If we can get like back-to-back Colt McCoy like that, then I'm convinced. Then I'm like, okay, sheep. We're not playing against John Wolford, right? We're playing against like a Jimmy G, for example, right? But in my opinion, I don't think Cliff is going to bench Kyler if Kyler's healthy. Or he's not going to bench Kyler if Kyler's healthy. It's just my opinion, right? I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I truly don't believe he's going to bench him. I think it's going to be Kyler's show until proven otherwise. And I think if he's going to be coming back on Monday, then, or not this Monday, but next Monday on Monday Night Football, and if he comes up and shows out, then I think all of us will have a different narrative, right? Let's get to AZ Sports Girl. It says, I'm stuck between the two of them because McCoy has more maturity, but Kyler, I think, has a little bit more experience than McCoy. We'll see, and that's the thing, too. Colt McCoy got hurt. Do y'all remember? Colt McCoy got hurt. And I was like, freak! And I want to see the F word. I want to say the F-U-C-K word. But I was so concerned. I was sad. I was like, dang, we can't have nice things. Colt McCoy got hurt. And what happened? Colt McCoy said, I don't give a flying crap. I'm going to come back out here and play because I'm never a starting quarterback. He's been living his life as a backup. And he said, nah, I'm going to continue in this game. Colt McCoy comes right back and wins the game for the Arizona Cardinals. So you got to give it to him. Yeah, I mean, you got to give kudos to where kudos is due. And Colt McCoy deserves every kudos out there. He does. I don't want to take it away from him. And I think I think that some people in this chat are misconstruing what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that this offense isn't better with Colt or is not better with Colt. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm having a hard time seeing Cliff Kingsbury bench Kyler Murray if he's healthy for Colt. That's all I'm saying. But we have seen an offense today that got me really excited. I'm not going to lie to you. Very, very excited. Let's get to these two contributions. We got Sam saying, Mike, Mike, the reason K1 wants to be in Texas. Wait, Mike, the reason K1 wants to be in Texas, his home. So you're saying, that's right. You were saying the trade. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's get over here to Jason. He says, I like Kyler, but this offense is better with Colt. Dude, I mean, bro, y'all killing me here, man. Y'all killing me. You guys want me to say something? So everybody cancels me. That's what you guys want me to say. You guys want me to say something so everybody cancels me, right? I'm not sure if I'm there yet, everybody. I'm happy too. I'm excited. This offense looked great with Colt McCoy. You're right. Everybody that's giving me contributions today, y'all right. You good. I mean, James Conner played today like I haven't seen James Conner play in a very long time. AJ Green made 2 catches today like I haven't seen him play in a very long time. There was smiles on that bench. People were actually talking to each other. People were actually conversing with each other, and that's something that I love to see. I love it. And that's the thing. I don't want to go on the take right now and saying I'm done with Kyler because I'm not. I still truly believe that Kyler is going to be the future for the Cardinals. Now, if I'm wrong, I will eat crow, just like I ate crow for Rondale Moore, right? When I was talking God knows what, saying Rondale Moore isn't good, I'm eating crow. Rondale Moore is good. I was wrong. Rondale Moore is good. He's good. And I'm so glad that they're finally using him up the field and stop using him in this stupid screenplays. I'm happy about that. Keep using him up the middle because it's working. He's great. Let's get to MGO here. He says, hey, Mike, weird question, but did you think that Marco is dirty for what he did to Cup? He's being attacked for what he did from Rams fans. No, it's the same thing. Remember when Budda Baker ended up, hitting Kittle very low? It's the same thing that happened, right? 49ers fans came up and said, oh, Budda Baker's so dirty, blah, 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 blah. This, nah, just forget those fans. Honestly, just forget it. Honestly, football is so fast. I don't think Marco Wilson's intention was like, I'm going to take this guy out of the game, because Cooper Kupp was nowhere. Cooper Kupp literally did nothing all game. So it's not like this guy was destroying us, right? It's nothing like that. I truly think it was a bang, bang play. It happened really quick. Rams fans are going to be pissed off. But Rams fans or Rams organization has hurt our players left and right for years. And I don't think any of us came out to them and saying, you guys, hurt Kyler Murray. You guys hurt Kurt Warner. You guys hurt Palmer. No, we don't say things like that, because it's football. Unless you actually truly see it happen truthfully, then that's a different story. But I truly believe, no, I don't think Marco Wilson intentionally did anything to hurt Cooper Kupp. And prayers up to Cooper Kupp, by the way. Prayers up to him. Appreciate the contribution, my guy. Let's keep going with these contribute. Man, you guys are coming up clutch, but y'all want to get me canceled though. All y'all people, love you guys, love you to death. All y'all boys and girls up in this chat right now, but y'all want to get me canceled. I know what you're trying to do. Jason up here says, same offense, different quarterback, more points. Jason, you're spearheading this cancellation, man. You're spearheading it. Let's go over to me, Wilson. He says, I hope you open up the phone lines. I got stuff to say. Yes, I am going to open up the phone lines a little later on. If you guys can't get onto this live stream, we are going to be doing a Victory Monday tomorrow as well in the morning. So make sure you have your post notification bell on. If you can't get onto this live stream, just FYI, we're going to do it again tomorrow as well. Okay. So let's keep it going here. Ethan comes up clutch. He says, I think our receivers trust Colt more with passing than Kyler, and that's why they were happier. Oh, we're all right. What's happening with this 49er game, huh? 16-10 going into half. Y'all just trying to get me canceled. I do believe you're right, though, right? When things win, when things are working for the Arizona Cardinals, things look better, people are happier. Nothing solves anything more than winning. That's just what it is. Nothing is going to solve anything more than just winning. It's what it is. Nothing's going to solve it more than winning. We don't care how it gets done, right? We don't care how it gets done. As long as we win, that's what we need. Raphael coming up with a super chat. Appreciate you. He says we're stuck with Kyler, but Mike ... Colt leads his offense and has a smile coming from his guys. Laugh aloud. I'm glad people are slowly but surely seeing Kyler Murray is the problem. Oh my goodness. Oh, Raphael, appreciate the super chat, my guy. I'm telling you, I gotta open up these phone lines. I gotta hear what you guys have to say and try to get my takes out of here. Obviously, my takes are nothing but poo, but I've been talking about Rondale Moore not being good when this guy has been magic for the Arizona Cardinals at this very moment, y'all. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you guys so very much. Obviously, smiles all around, right? I'm hoping you guys got smiles on your face watching this live stream, watching me squirm around and not trying to say something I'm going to regret a little later on. But, I mean, here's the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. Winning solves all. Winning cures all. And if you really ask an Arizona Cardinal fan, that's an Arizona Cardinal fan before Kyler Murray got here, you can say this. Most people are going to say, I just want to win. That's it. We just want to win. That's it. We don't care how it gets done. We just want to win. I'm not sure. I don't care if it's Goat McCoy. I don't care if it's Kyler. I don't care who it is. I just want to win. And I know there's a lot of people on defense right now of Kyler Murray. A lot of people on Twitter, on Instagram. Everybody's in defense right now of Kyler Murray. And that's fine, right? If it's your favorite player, that's cool. I mean, I just want to win. That's it. I can care less. Let's get to the super chat. Let's get to Miles. He says, seems the guys would rally for Colt before K1. Miles over here just trying to add salt to injury to myself. Appreciate you, Miles, for the super chat. Jason's coming up with another one. He says, was Hopkins mad at Colt this game? Like, oh, you guys. Okay, let's do this. Fire emojis in the comments below for all the super chatters, for all the people that were contributing to this Arizona sports fan here on YouTube. Thank you so very much, everybody, for super chatting, for contributing to this channel. Definitely means the world. Let's get some fire emojis in the comments below. Let's get some W's or some fire emojis in the comments below, because let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen, most Cardinal fans, we just want to freaking win. That's all we want. That's all we want. And I think seeing this offense definitely made sure that Cliff is good for another week. Cliff is good for another week, right? Winning solves all. I don't think Cliff looked very happy in the press game conference. He was just like, hey, it ain't done. It ain't over. And I like that mentality because it isn't over. It isn't over at all. Give me 1 second, everybody. Give me about 10 seconds. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, we just want to win, right? We seen Kyler and Colt with this. Or I'm sorry, wow, lost train of thought. Sorry, just FYI, I had to open up the garage. My wife just got home back from work, so that's why I had to move away or step away. We still have some people saying fire Cliff. Well, let's do this. I appreciate the fire emojis, FYI. Okay, we got Alex with the super chat. Let's see what Alex has to say. Alex coming up clutch. He says, I want Cliff to run the offense with Kyler the way he does with Colt. Not super complicated plays, just actual football. Yeah, I mean, right? Like we said in the beginning of the stream, we saw plays today that were working, but it also helped that Colt was throwing things up the middle, right? It helped that he was throwing things up the middle. So I know, y'all. I'm right there with you. A lot of people want to see Colt move forward with this offense. But do you guys really truly think that that's gonna happen? Like seriously, do you guys really think it's gonna happen? I'm not fully convinced, at least as of right now, that it's gonna fully happen. I mean, maybe later on down the road if it does, but I can't see a world where Cliff is gonna bench Kyler. I just don't see it at all. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong multiple times, so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not wrong. Let's get to this. We did get an update from Zach Ertz, just FYI, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pivot this real quick because all y'all grilling me right now with this Kyler versus Colt. Leonardo says K1 had 0 interceptions, 4 TDs versus the Browns without Cliff. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go, Leonardo, coming up clutch. Appreciate you, man. Coming up to my aid. Thank you so very much, Leonardo, for the super chat. We did finally get an update from Zach Ertz. If you guys don't know, Zach Ertz was carted off the field, and this is from Adam Schefter. He says, Cardinals tight end Zach Ertz, spotted in a brace after Arizona's win, is expected to miss multiple weeks with the knee injury he suffered today, per source. The team does suspect that his ACL is intact. However, but Ertz will still undergo an MRI on Monday to determine the full extent of the injury. So here's the update. So prayers up in the comments below for Zach Ertz. Definitely a huge focal point for the Arizona Cardinals. He ended up going down, and I honestly was like heart dropped, pretty upset with that whole situation because truth be told, right, Zach Ertz is a big focal point of this tight end group. But I mean, now we're going to start seeing Trey McBride, right? I mean, maybe that will open up Trey McBride an opportunity to see if he can actually do what he was brought in to do. Didn't we see like Anderson or Steven Anderson, right? Didn't he miss like a ball getting thrown to him, something like that? So Trey McBride did get a ball today, 1 reception, 7 yards, nothing too crazy, but maybe we'll start seeing some Trey McBride. So definitely prayers up in the comments. Zach Ertz, it doesn't look good. Maybe multiple weeks he will be out, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, let's do this. Give me who you guys want. Everybody, we have 178 people right now. Who you guys want? In the chat, you can either say GOAT, or you can say GOAT McCoy, Colt McCoy, or K1 Kyler Murray. In the comments below, I just want to see one name. Kyler, Colt, GOAT, K1, it doesn't matter. Who do you guys want in quarterback? And we're going to open up the phone lines while we wait for everybody to filter out who you want the quarterback to be moving forward for the Arizona Cardinals. Let me know in the comments below. Somebody says both. So we're seeing a lot more Kylers, but we are seeing some Colts. We're seeing a lot more Colts than I would thought. Here we go. We got some. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this because it's hard to gauge who you guys truly want because the chat goes by really quickly. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a poll question in the chat here below, right? It's going to be a part of the chat. So if you guys are looking at the chat, that's where you guys are going to be focusing on, right? All right. Poll question coming up. I'm putting K1 or Colt. Let's put McCoy. Okay, I'm putting the poll up right now. Definitely go ahead and cast your vote, ladies and gentlemen. The poll question is up right now in the chat. Go ahead and vote on there. It's a lot easier for you guys to do it there as opposed to the chat. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't going to be like, oh, 1, 2, 3. It's hard, right? It's absolutely hard. So definitely answer the chat question here below. I'm so curious. We have 42 already, 42 responses. Thank you, guys. So far, it seems like 60% is saying Kyler Murray, 40% is McCoy, but that's still a lot. That's still a lot McCoy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so surprised. Keep voting it up. It's in the chat. We have over 182 people right now with only 40 votes. So I'm missing your guys' votes. I want to see what the Bird Gang has to say. I want to see what you guys have to say. So let's get to this contribution. And we are opening up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen, right now. We have Ethan saying Majay revenge on the Rams. Yes, 100%. 100% for sure. All right, let's open up the phone lines, everybody. If this is your first time here on the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, and you want to jump on, the best way to jump on, ladies and gentlemen, is if you come onto YouTube. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The best way is to jump onto YouTube. Twitter family and YouTube or in Facebook family, come onto to YouTube, search up AZ Sports Fan, and you should be able to find my channel. Come to the chat and we should be able to come on if you want to jump on. If not, no worries. Everybody that's currently in the chat right now, if you could do me a huge favor, put some popcorn in the chat below, ladies and gentlemen, because you know how it gets, man. You know how it gets with people coming on here right now, giving their opinion. Now, we are going to limit people. So you have 30 seconds, just FYI. 30 seconds, finish what you need to say, in and out. That's all we have to say. Popcorn in the chat below, ladies and gentlemen. You know how our fan base is, everybody. There it is. Popcorn it up in the chat below. Let's get this going. I want to open up the phone lines right now. Let me get my everything situated here on my end before we open it up. Like I said, 30 seconds. I'm not going to talk. I want you to talk, and then we will go from there. All right, let's get this going here real quick. 1 second, everybody. All right, let's get over to Chris. Chris is the first one that jumped on. Appreciate you, Chris. All right, let's go ahead and change this background here real quick. Chris, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about this win?
I mean, kind of indifferent about if we flip-flopped wins where like we beat them early in the season, lost now, I would have been more excited about beating them because we would have looked more like a playoff team then because we didn't know the Rams were going to be trash this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the thing that makes this less exciting is the fact that, once again, we lost at home and won on the road. Yeah.
That's a good call out. Yeah, that's absolutely a good call out. We ended up winning in SoFi Stadium. Yeah, no, I agree. Do you have any thoughts on this whole Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray thing?
I mean, roll with Colt, see what you got for the rest of the season if you like, but I think Kyler is still kind of the guy. It's kind of like with Dak versus Cooper Rush in Dallas. Like Cooper Rush can carry the team if he needs to, but most of the time you're going to want Dak Prescott as the quarterback.
That's a great comparison, my guy. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go?
Not really.
Brother, have a great rest of your day, man. Later. All right, I did get a contribution while we were talking to Chris. We got my guy Moses saying full strength / healthy. This team can be dangerous. I 100% agree. Appreciate you, Moses. Thank you so very much. Let's move on. Let's get Me Wilson. Me Wilson, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling? What's up, brother?
Feeling okay, but it's not like Colt McCoy beat Patrick Mahomes today. So, I hate to be negative, but it's not like he beat Patrick Mahomes or any other great team like Josh Allen. And congrats to Patrick Peterson. He pulled off a great game against the Bills today.
True.
But I feel like the reason why Kyler's struggling this year is because he just got the contract, and I feel like he kind of just put that pressure on himself to, like, okay, I got a big contract, and I think that's probably why he's struggling right now. And with Colt, he's like, I don't care, I don't have a big contract or anything. So I would say just keep Kyler. I mean, but you know who did win today? Cliff Kingsbury.
True.
The reason why I say that is because whether it's a backup quarterback or whatever, people are going to talk about that he beat the Rams. But can you imagine if they lost today against a backup quarterback?
I think at that point it would have been done. Either this game or 49ers would have been done. But you're right. I think he definitely has bought himself an extra week or two before everybody starts clamoring.
so I hate to be Mr. Negative, but I mean, yes, a win is a win, but it would have been a lot better if Colt McCoy really tested himself like against Matthew Stafford today, and with the actual healthy Rams offense, because today I feel like we played the Rams like backup offense plus their pretty good defense. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, me, Wilson. Thank you so very much. Have a great day. All right. Let's keep it moving here. Let's get AZ Fan 1998. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll explain my super chat I sent earlier. Why I'm so confused is just because, first off, we start off the game with the usual screens and the BS that we've seen, starting out with the offense, right? Mm-hmm. But then as the game went along, what I noticed was that Colt McCoy was under center a lot more, and Kyler Murray doesn't like to do that. Then I think that's the reason a lot of times that Kyler Murray is not successful with the offense. I mean, he's not doing play action under center. He's not doing the things that Colt McCoy did today. Yes, the defense wasn't fully healthy. The offense was not fully healthy at all. Mm-hmm. But it's just the fact that Colt looked poised. I mean, he wasn't crying or complaining about things. He just said, come on, guys, let's go. Let's get this thing rolling. And you could tell the offense respected it. And we had a terrible offensive lineup. Like, our line was like third string, second string. And he only got sacked maybe a couple, 3 times, and that was it. So it's just the fact that why can't Kyler do that? You know what I mean? And it's just like Cliff changed up his play calling. He stopped doing the screens. He started doing more run plays. He started throwing it down the field. And that's why Rondale Moore and DeAndre Hopkins succeeded, especially against Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey had DeAndre Hopkins' number for the longest time when they went back to the AFC South days. But then today, DeAndre Hopkins dominated. And on defense, we need to play Majai Sanders and Cameron Thompson more. I mean, these guys – Majai Sanders especially proved himself a little bit.
Yeah.
So – but I guess one thing I wanted to also talk about was when Zach Ertz went down, my heart just dropped. I'm like, man, we just lost a player right there. And to rub some salt in the wound was then they put it to break and the Vikings winning, and Patrick Peterson got the game-winning interception.
He got 2.
And I'm just like, yeah, he had 2. He had 2, but the last one was a game winner. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Why? And this is why I'm saying get rid of Kime. Because look what happened. If we still had Patrick Peterson, yes, he may be a little bit older, but look, he's still making plays. And that's why I'm saying, yeah, Cliff bought himself another week, but Kime still needs to go. I think he still is an issue. And just the draft picks that aren't here anymore, that are succeeding elsewhere, that's why he really needs to be replaced.
Perfect. Appreciate you, brother. Have a great rest of your day, man. Later. All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's get to Arjun. Arjun, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Bro, for the first time, I actually sat down and I enjoyed every minute of this game. First time all season. But look, I feel like people are overreacting by the whole Kyler situation. I was also going to bring up Cooper Rush. They were calling for Dak's job after, 3 games? Mm-hmm. And it's only been 1 game sample size for Colt. I think if McCoy can play like he did today, and he shows he can do that consistently every game throughout the season, then we can, start to consider maybe Colt's floor is a bit higher than Kyler's, but Kyler's ceiling is way, way, way higher. Like, we know all the crazy stuff he can do in the field to win his games. He can elevate an offense, while I think Colt can be like a decent game manager at best. We didn't pay Kyler $230 million for nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think next week, if Kyler is not 100%, we can have him suit up and stay on the sidelines and put Colt in. And if Colt looks good and he's getting the job done, great. But if we need Kyler, then he can go and step in and maybe not run as much, but still make some plays. But at the end of the day, I think Kyler is the guy you start. I think he is the guy that can elevate your offense, and he's that franchise quarterback, while Colt is just a really good backup.
Yeah, no, that's a great call out. Exactly. Now, hamstrings usually, I mean, I guess obviously depends on, the health of the person and when they're healing,
Yeah.
but I think that's a great thing. Like, if he's not 100%, put Colt in and also have him suit up
exactly.
and see how it goes, because Monday night,
If
man,
we need him,
everybody's going to be looking. That's prime time.
Exactly, that too. Prime time. Second prime time game of the year.
100%.
I mean, last year we sucked in prime time, bro. We were awful in prime time, but this year, I mean, hopefully we can change that. It looked good Thursday night against the Saints, so we'll see.
All right, brother.
Yep.
Have a great man. Good call, man.
Right.
Later, dude.
You too, man.
All right, let's keep it moving here. We probably have enough time for about 3 or 4 more, maybe 2 or 3 more. Let me get to me, Wilson, in the contribution. He says, also, it's karma that Kupp got hurt. Remember when Cam Akers did to Buda Baker when Buda got hurt in the playoffs? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? When you're looking at like hurt, I never want to wish like any will ill on any player at all. It's kind of one of those things where like, yeah, I mean, people get hurt. It's football like that. It's a hard game. It's bang, bang. I still to the day, I don't think Marco did anything intentionally. Like, I don't think he meant to do anything. Let's get to Lennon. Lennon, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, brother. How are you feeling?
Amazing win by the Arizona Cardinals. And without Kyler Murray, we just came out and show out against these pesky LA Rams. Take that back, what happened in the playoffs. And if you are born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and you are a Cardinals fan, Suns fan, Diamondbacks fan, all that stuff, you can feel the hate of LA teams, the Rams, the Lakers, and the Dodgers. But big shout out to James Conner with 2 touchdowns. Big shout out to AJ Green with a huge catch. And big shout out to Buda Baker with amazing pick. And we played really great on defense.
All right, Lennon. I'm gonna let you go, brother. Right? Have a great rest of the day, dude. Let man. You sound like my post game show, my guy. You sound like my post game show. All right, let me get to the super chat here real quick. Moses says, if you didn't have either quarterback, you pick Kyler Murray over Colt. Sorry, if you didn't have either quarterback, you pick Kyler Murray over Colt. So you're saying Kyler Murray? Okay, gotcha. Well, that's one thing I agree with too. Like, that's what I agree with. Let's get to AZ Sports Girl. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Man, I owe AJ Green a huge apology because these past few games, the dude just looks like he doesn't want to be here. During Hard Knocks, he just had this whole dead face. Just the whole dead face.
Yeah.
And I also owe an apology to our kicker, Tristan. Man, I thought the dude was going to be bad because my uncle was here. He's like, oh, he got released, I think, from the Vikings, I don't remember, because he had missed multiple field goals. And the whole thing about Colt and Kyler, like, I'm team Kyler all the way. I really am. But I feel like on the field today, McCoy was more in control. He had more leadership with the offense. He knew what he was doing. And Kyler's really just not playing like his contract. And Colt McCoy has what, a $7.5 million contract? But it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter to me. I'm team Kyler all the way. Colt's great, but Kyler's got just a little bit more experience than he does.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I agree with what you're saying about like, we want Kyler so bad, but it's hard to ignore the fact that he looks so darn smooth in this offense. So let me get to my last call. I appreciate you as always, AZ Sports Girl. Thank you so very much. Let's get over to Jordan P. Take us home, my guy. What's up, man? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. If only there was a guy who told y'all Cliff Kingsbury's play calling wasn't the problem. Because when I said that, there was a whole bunch of people laughing, saying Cliff this, Cliff that. And now we see what we just saw. Cliff Kingsbury was calling the plays, just like he always does, for a quarterback that was going through the offense on time, on schedule, and making adjustments. That's something that people don't understand. There was a play where Ramsey was playing 10 yards off Hopkins, and the play call was a run, and McCoy made a signal to Hopkins for a little curl route for the first down, easy pitch and catch. And the thing that we don't see that with Kyler. There was a play in an earlier game, third down, and they were playing off Hollywood Brown. This was early in the year, and it was a huge play in the game. At the end of the game, the guy, he was wide open for a first down, and he just handed the ball off. I'm like, you're supposed to be a $250 million quarterback. You can't see this guy's wide open and make the adjustment. So people saying that Cliff called a different game. He didn't call a different game. Sure, he called some more under center plays, but that's because Kyler doesn't like being under center. He said it. He didn't really say it in a press conference. He alluded to it because they asked him about it, and he said, well, there's disadvantages to me being under center. We all know what that means. He can't really read the defense the same. And I don't blame him for that, but people say, Cliff, you suck. You didn't do this. Do you realize there's stuff that Kyler doesn't like to do, or stuff that is disadvantageous to him? So, the whole Cliff Kingsbury stuff, like that's just a wash. I've been saying it the whole time. His play calling is not the issue. There's other stuff that he has some issues with, but what we've seen this year with Kyler is a lot of missed passes, a lot of some guys open, misread, then holds the ball, takes a sack, stuff like that. That puts us back. And now, we're in 3rd and long, things like that. So for, the Cliff stuff, I mean, he's not the greatest, but he just went into SoFi Stadium against McVay, a Super Bowl winning head coach.
True. Right?
And he had a practice squad offensive line, a kicker off the street, a backup quarterback, and beat him. And people saying, oh, well, this isn't Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen. The offense plays their defense, if I remember correctly. So we were playing against Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, with a practice squad offensive line and a backup quarterback. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. You can't say, well, they didn't play Josh Allen. Like, they're playing the defense, right? So, and one thing I do want to note is that in the when Cliff was giving the speech after, like, there were guys like chanting for Cole and like telling after the thing was over, like they were wanting him to like say a speech at the end. Like, you don't see that stuff for Kyler. AJ Green was smiling.
Dude, I know, I saw that
you
too.
You don't see none of that.
I was like, he's smiling?
And one thing I want to say is Kyler had a clause in his contract for a reason. You could say you hated it. You could say whatever. Just go turn on the tape. He had a contract. He had a clause in his contract for a reason. So I love Kyler, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. They're not going to put a clause in there if he was doing everything he needed to, right? And the whole thing about the Michael Bidwill watching tape with the coaches is because he wants to see what's wrong with the offense. And when you turn on the tape, Kyler Murray has a lot of issues. I mean, the offensive line's an issue. We already know that. Yeah. But when you see guys wide open all the time and he's airmailing a pass, underthrowing AJ Green, that so there's got to be, consistency with quarterback play as well as play calling.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen next week? Kyler Murray?
To be honest, hamstrings are iffy, right? Because they're soft tissue injuries. So it can linger. You could be like, oh, it's a little injury, but, you plant one time and you blow up your hamstring because it's not fully healthy. So it really depends. I mean, he looked good. Like he looked like he could play, like if it was a dire need to play, you know what I mean? But I mean, I think he's gonna play for sure. But the whole Colt thing, like I said that all about Kyler, but he's still the guy. We know that. But the thing is, he needs to take a page out of Colt's playbook. And what I mean by that is he needs to play in time and on rhythm. He needs to make adjustments properly. You know what I'm saying? And the pouting and the whining and the saying shut the F up, whatever, like I'm gonna get you the ball, like stuff like that. That's just stuff you don't see from Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, right? You don't see that type of stuff. So
no, I 100%
still
agree.
The guy, but
all right, man. I'm gonna get you on next week once we do it again, brother. Have a great rest of the day, dude. Later, man. Yeah. Let me get to the super chat. Moses says, is this quarterback debate a good problem to have? Yeah, I mean, it is. It is a good problem to have, right? I mean, obviously, you're going to have fans debate, right? You're going to have fans, get upset and say things like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know this and that. It's just, it is what it is, right? I mean, this is the situation that we're going to be living under, right? If we continue to see Kyler Murray struggle, right? It's gonna happen. If Kyler Murray continues to struggle and he continues to miss reads, then if Colt comes back in and does it again, then dang, my goodness, imagine it. But I can almost promise you tomorrow or Tuesday, you're going to get a lot of articles. Saying that our backup quarterback, Colt McCoy, came out here and did stuff that Kyler Murray couldn't do. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just get used to it. If you don't like it, you don't like the narrative, no worries. Shut it down, go away, do something else with your life. But right now, I'm looking at the poll, ladies and gentlemen. And we have 173 votes right now. And 49% of people are saying Colt McCoy should start over or Kyler. Wow. Let me get to the super chat here from me, Wilson. I really hate to be negative, Mike, but this team is far from a playoff. Well, and I agree with you too, right? This is kind of the same situation that I felt about the Saints too. So it's not that you're negative. I'm right there with you, my guy. So you don't have to definitely apologize anything to me. Like, you're completely fine. The way that we beat the Saints, I'm like, hey, cool, awesome, we won, but like, we still lost, right? We're still going through the struggle. So unless we can do this in a consistent fashion, I'm still going to say the Cardinals aren't a playoff team. Now, if they win, then hey, cool, let's go. Let's rock and roll. Let's see what we can do in the playoffs. But I mean, you don't have to apologize to anybody. But 49% says Colt McCoy should start. Wow. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are as an organization right now. That's crazy. 49% says Colt McCoy, 51% says Kyler Murray. 171 votes. That's it. That's crazy. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If you guys didn't get a chance to jump on, we will be doing another live stream tomorrow morning. Just FYI, it's a Victory Monday. We're going to be excited. We're happy. We're going to talk all sorts of different stuff once we had 24 hours to obviously adjust to what we ended up seeing this Sunday, right? We're going to find out if the 49ers lost, because as of right now, they're down by 3. So we have a lot to talk about tomorrow. We absolutely have a lot to talk about tomorrow. I'm very excited, everybody. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This has been an absolute pleasure to speak to everybody here currently in the chat. Thank you so very much. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And as always, go Cards. Let's go.